Welcome into SporTView edition of Holliston Panthers Football Media Day. I'm Dylan Potemri, alongside me, Jay Wyman. Jay, excited for the season to begin?
Great season. It's always exciting, football. You get out here, you smell the grass out here, and get ready to go see the kids over here getting ready and everything. And it's exciting time for us. It starts today and it goes right up through Thanksgiving, and maybe sometimes some years even a little bit beyond Thanksgiving. But yeah, we're looking for a good season this year from the Panthers.
Yeah, looking back to last season in 2022 campaign, finished out 8-1, 5-1 in the league to win the TVL Large, which was their 24th league title. Actually, they did pretty well in the playoffs, eventually losing in the state semifinals to a very, very tough Duxbury team. But it's a brand new season, and let's kind of take a look at what the schedule is looking like for this season.
Yeah, thanks, Dylan. They're going to open up tomorrow night in Franklin for the Laracy Bowl, and that, of course, is more like an exhibition game. It doesn't really count. After that, we open with 3 home games. We have Foxborough home here on Friday, September 8th at 7 p.m. Last year, we beat them 33-7, but Coach Jack Martinelli from Foxborough, he loves his experienced players, and he started out kind of slow last year with his team, but they really picked up a lot of steam on the way over. So he's coming back with a lot of experience. That's going to be a tough ball game for Holliston, as are the next 3. One is Middleborough, who's going to be home here on Thursday, September 14th at 6:30. They went 8-3 last year, and they lost to Duxbury also in the playoffs. They lost 61-41. So they put up a lot more points than we did against Duxbury, but Duxbury just scored a ton on them. Then we have Milton coming in here on the Friday, September 22nd. That's a 6 p.m. game. That's the team we lost to last year, 42-6, and they had a sensational quarterback, Owen McHugh, who thankfully won't be here this year. But he was one of these kids. Every time he threw the ball, you loved the way he threw the ball. You knew what he was doing. I think he had like 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown against Holliston last year. So, that was one of the 2 losses that we had last year that really, both of them were the result of a really good quarterback. Then after that, we go to Grafton. Now, Grafton lost last year to Duxbury in the Super Bowl. So these are all teams. It's a very, very, very tough schedule. That is Friday, September 29th at 7 p.m. They lost to Duxbury 42-7 last year in the Super Bowl. So again, Duxbury had that just sensational team, and that's why these teams lost that way. Then comes the TVL with Norwood. We start off with Norwood. They're Thursday, October 5th. That's away in Norwood. Last year we beat them 41-7, so they'll be looking for us to retract a little revenge on that. As will Medfield, which is Friday, October 13th. Friday the 13th in October. That's at 7 p.m. We beat them 50-14 last year. And you see these scores are just incredible. Hopkinton is here on Thursday, October 19th at 7. That Hopkinton game last year, Holliston won 21-19, and it was just an incredible ball game. It was so much fun to do, so much fun to watch. They were great. Then we have Ashland, my hometown. Ashland is here Friday, October 27th at 7. We beat them last year 35-12. Then, of course, last year in the playoffs, we beat Melrose and we beat Scituate, and then we ended up playing Duxbury in the state semifinals, as you mentioned. We lost them 42-14, but we held the lead in at the end of the first quarter. We were up 14-7, and then at halftime it was tied 14-14. But we just ran out of a little gas at the end there, and Matt Fester, whose dad Chris used to pitch for Holliston High School, he's just a superb quarterback. He and McHugh were the 2 top quarterbacks that we played last year. They were both really sensational. Not sure if we're going to see anybody that good this year, but that's the way it went last year.
Yeah. Well, obviously a very tough schedule looks like ahead. A lot of TVL teams that might be looking for some revenge after last season, but we're actually going to get the chance to talk to a couple of players when we get back. All right, we're here with a couple of our captains here. They're going to introduce themselves, their positions.
I'm David Villa, I'm number 51, and I play defensive line.
I'm Jack Shellings, number 70, I play O-line, D-line.
Devin Harding, number 3, I play running back.
All right, great to see these kids out here today. Why don't you guys talk a little bit about being captains and what it meant in the off season? We'll start off a little bit, Dave.
I feel like you kind of got to take out the leading role of the team, take over the reins, set an example for the guys. and you're kind of setting that example for everyone else on the team. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially in the off season, like the weight room, it's a huge factor to how well a football team can produce in the normal season. So being a captain, we have to lead the guys in the weight room and even out. We kind of have to help make the team like bond for those upcoming sophomores that are going to be filling larger roles. Their junior year, we have to help the team really come together as one.
And what about off season? Do you have like captains practices or anything?
Yeah, we had summer workouts many times a week for several weeks this summer, and we had many other football practice related captain practices.
Going to the field, just running routes, anything we can do to just be more prepared for the season. So.
And you guys kind of mentioned a little bit about bringing this whole big group together. What are some of the things, maybe some team bonding stuff that you guys do to make this such a big group buy into like one type of goal?
When you join the football team, it's kind of like you all have that one goal. You want to work together and just compete every single day for a championship. The things we do together, we do. Even off season, those workouts. Sweating, everything, working through all this, hard work just for one goal, for each other, to do as well as we can in the season.
Kind of to add on to that, we all kind of just like, especially in the off season, kind of like all bond as one. So other kids, they might have sports and whatnot, but if you really have nothing going on, then you kind of just like hang out just as friends, like kind of like keeping football like a little bit to the side, but just getting to know the other people better, going out to lunch, doing just like everyday things just with like underclassmen, kids in your grade that you might not be that close with, just to help bond.
I went to a lot of the passing league games over in Ashland, and guys are pretty good. A lot of speed on the team and anything, and you talked a few minutes about what you did over at Natick. You had a pretty good scrimmage.
Yeah, we did very good at Natick. We have a very athletic team, very strong team. We had to replace many people, but we have a lot of great replacements, and we were very strong at Natick.
A lot of speed on the team this year, I heard.
A lot of speed.
Yeah, a lot of replay. We did lose a lot of good guys like AD and Sweens, but we have a lot of kids that are slotted to fill those roles very well.
Excellent. And what about what are you looking forward to? What games you guys looking forward to this year? Who do you want to get back at, or who do you? Because you're going to have a lot of Tri-Valley these teams looking to get back at you, right?
Yeah.
So.
Obviously Foxborough first week, got to set the tone for the season. Show who we are. We beat them last year, but obviously they know we lost a lot of kids, and there's a lot of questions about us. Even Franklin, there's still a lot of questions about our team and how we can fill those roles that we lost last year. So those are big games to show that we're still a great team that can compete. And I think even Milton was a team when we got walloped by them last year. They're still a good team this year, and I think if we compete with them, it shows that we're still legit.
Well, McHugh graduated, the quarterback.
Oh yeah, I know they have. They have
good
some.
news.
Yeah. They got some good guys coming up though.
They really do.
I think they'll still be a great team.
Yeah, the halfback I think is back again too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
New quarterback. He's very good too.
And do you guys have any individual goals you've set for yourself for the season, or maybe if not an individual, a team goal that's set out there?
Well, it's always like that. You want to just do as much damage as we can in the playoffs, and it's taking it 1 week at a time, not focusing on that big goal. Obviously, we want to win the TVL every single year, but we just make as much noise as we possibly can.
Jack, your goals, Jack?
I would just kind of agree with Dave here. It's just to make as much noise in the playoffs as possible, make it to the playoffs in general. Obviously, one big goal, win the TVL. You got to get that first. And just kind of like set the tone for the season. Play as one, not just 11 individual guys, but just one like machine almost.
Yeah. Devin?
Yeah, like Jack said, just play as one. We need to stick together and all stay healthy, stay strong.
Okay, I have one last question. It's for you, Jack, because I'm the offensive line guy. I don't know if you know, I love the offensive line. How do you guys look this year? You lost a couple guys, but you have a few coming back, right?
Oh yeah, we got a couple guys coming back. I like what we have going on right now. I think with our offensive line, the big question was, we lost Grant, we lost Pierce. Those are some big play guys. I think we got some good kids coming in. We have some talent. And we really bonded over the off season, especially like lifting, doing just like basic stuff like that. I feel like we're placing it really well. I mean, Coach Kylie always says we don't lose kids, we just reload. So I like to look at it that way, and I think our line should be pretty solid this year.
Excellent.
Well, we thank you guys for taking the opportunity to talk with us, and best of luck in the season. Got a chance to talk with some of the captains, and we're going to get to talk with some of the coaches. We welcome in a couple of coaches from the Holliston Panther football team, Coach Santos and Coach Kylie. Thank you guys for coming and talking with us for a little bit.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
So, Coach Kylie, kind of just walk us through maybe some of the changes you've seen in your staff for this season.
So the big change. So Coach Athey's taken a step back. He always tries to take a step back, but he's never able to fully take that full step. But this year, he's gonna be traveling following his son at Stonehill and doing that. And don't blame him whatsoever. Life's too short, right? Not to miss out on any of family events, and he's still a huge part of it. And anytime he's around, he's with us. He was there the entire double sessions, preseason, and he's just missing some games, and that's it. By that time, the Hayes in the Barn, him and Coach Santos have been working together for how many years now on the defense?
Probably around 5-6 years.
Yep. So plenty of years. They've really done it together. So there's just a real slight change where now Coach Santos will be, calling the shots and doing that, and and Coach Athey will be, assisting in that role. But it doesn't change a whole lot because, like I said, they've been doing it together, and the rest of the staff is pretty much intact with what it was last year. Coach Derek Kylie is changing profession, so we lost him off the JV squad. So Coach Joe Cassidy is filling that role in a more permanent role. He was with us last year, but more permanent. He's done a great job with us, so he deserves that. And then Coach Quinn will help out at that level, and Coach Seastead will be the head coach at that level. And then varsity, we've been, it seems like that's one of our. When people ask that, what do you attribute this success to? A lot of it is just continuity amongst our staff and having that, year after year, having that same staff. And so you got, Coach Perry as assistant head coach doing the line with Coach Lamarck, and then Coach Perry big on the defensive side of the ball, doing the inside backers, and then Coach Lamarck doing both sides of the ball, line-wise. We got everybody, everybody's still doing the same things. And even with Coach Santos taking a bigger role defensively, still working the offense as well, and I'm doing the same thing. So, we're back at it, and we're looking good at this point. Tomorrow's going to be a huge test. Franklin is they're a very good program. Bigger, so I don't even like to mention the size of schools because you can only put 11 on the field at one time.
That's right.
But they got a good crop of kids every year, so it's a great test. I love the fact that, we have them scheduled as the Laracy Bowl because there's no false sense of security going into the season. So we're excited. We're extremely excited. I don't know if I forgot anybody over there, but I think we got everybody.
Yeah. And how about for the numbers in the program? What's that kind of looking like for this year?
You know what? The numbers this year are as good as we've ever been. I think we've been right around 70 as our. I don't know the exact number.
Yeah.
But we've been right around like low 70s to 70, and we're 72, I think, 70, even 73. So that's freshman to senior.
Yeah.
So some great numbers. We're all about quality over quantity, though. So, that's the important thing with us. And hopefully we'll find, we're going to find out. We'll find out very soon what the quality is there. We have high expectations with this senior group for sure. We obviously lost a lot of talent. with that last senior class, but I feel like we got guys stepping into those roles, and they're doing great so far. So, I expect us to be in every. We get a tough non-league schedule. Expect to be in all those games.
Well, you do have a tough schedule.
Yeah, we do. Yep. And we had a tough schedule last year too.
We did, yeah.
You look at, Foxborough, their Final Four. You got Milton in the state finals. They should have won it all.
They should have, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think Foxborough probably should have been there as well. They were a better team than Grafton, but that's why they play the games. Braintree was a very good Division I. They made the playoffs last year, and Medway was obviously that was lopsided, and there was a clear difference in talent there. They were young, they were young, and no fault to them. It's just everybody goes through it. We've been through it. Go through some growing pains. So, tough non-league schedule, but we're our program has always been let's go out and play the best. Our kids aren't phased, and I don't anticipate them being phased this year.
And you're kind of mentioning the schedule and that. Is there any game specifically that you kind of have maybe circled that you're really looking forward to?
Never. I've never circled a game. Yeah, never circled a game in my 20 years. This is my 21st year. It's about not to be that Belichick cliche, right? Next game. But it really is. You don't have any time. Once it gets cranked up and the season gets started, you're literally you have no time but to focus on that next thing. It's about the next practice, the next rep, the next everything. We're not. It'd be nice for this to be our full-time job, but in the fall we're working. Coach and I are working. It's like you got your full-time during the day, and then you have another full-time job after it, and it's it's 2 a.m. a lot of nights. You got to find that balance of being rested enough to be productive as a play caller and as putting in whatever we're putting in, but also you got to put in the time. If you want to do it right, you got to give the kids the best chance to succeed. And Coach Santos puts in a ton of time with it. Even with his young girl at home, he's still plugging away at it, and and life hasn't changed for me. I have a wife that's very supportive, and family that's very supportive, and they just know the deal that when football season starts, I'll see him around Christmas. See you around Christmas time.
If you're lucky.
Yep.
And obviously a great season last year, and maybe not the ending that you would want, but how do you use that to build off of that and continue forward this season?
Yeah, it's all about momentum, and that's real momentum from one season to the next. Especially, programs that have done what we've done. And I'm not tooting our own horn. There's a lot of programs that have done that have had the success that we've had year in and year out for the most part. But that it builds on itself every single year, and we absolutely plan to build on. A lot of coaches will say, "No, forget it, this is a new year." No, we're going to build on that. And we're going to match it and raise the ante is what we're doing. That's the plan, So
we have a lot of guys back that played in that game too, so that's something to build off of there.
Yep.
Okay, Coach, I would be absolutely remiss if I did not say congratulations on a great baseball season. For those who don't know, Coach Santos coached in Tri-Valley League
Tri-Valley League champs, yep.
And that's been a long time coming, right?
Since 1991.
Yeah. So you did a sensational job. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But now let's get down to it.
The real sport you're talking
about? Real sport.
Okay,
everyone knows my favorite sport. So I went to the passing camp, the passing league this year, saw all the games and everything. And one of the things I saw on defense that I kind of liked, there were a couple guys, and I won't mention names or anything, who really had some really great press defense. Is that something you've been trying to get them to do more of?
We got to have a big toolbox, so that's got to be part of it, being able to press and that stuff. But we have a lot of really athletic kids that are able to do some things very well on the defensive side of the ball, coverage-wise, and obviously that is one thing that we look for, but they need to be able to do more than just that.
Yeah, and speed this year. I saw a lot of speed. Is that true?
Yeah, we're fast. Yeah,
very fast. How's it look on the line, defensive line?
Well, defensive line, we returned two two of the best DNs in the state, both 3-year starters. And then interior, we're kind of still piecing together, but we got a lot of good options there. I'd say D-line's one of our stronger suits defensively.
And then the linebacking core, they
linebacking core, yeah. We have had some guys, a couple of kids turn some heads and show some good things. So we're looking like we have some good depth in there as well. Some depth that we kind of haven't had in years past. So that's always encouraging.
Good. And I know, Coach Kyler, we've been doing this for how many years? And I've gone play basketball. I do the basketball games. I come by their basketball. You guys are watching film still in January and February. It's a lot of time. Other than the extra time, what do you think the difference is between being a coordinator and being a, I don't know, I just want to say just a coach, but you know what I'm saying, yeah.
So honestly, I mean, as a staff, we all kind of just stick our faces in film and lose hours at a time. But I was actually saying to Paul, my biggest adjustment from a position coach to a coordinator is the install period, like the preseason, the camps and all that. I'm used to getting ready from a game prep standpoint, and an install standpoint's a little bit different. You know, you got to get all your base stuff in and all that, and then game week is more specific to the scheme that you're seeing. So that's, for me, that's been the biggest adjustment.
Interesting. Good.
But a smooth transition, you know.
Smooth,
it's a minor transition too. Like I said, they're just sort of reversing roles.
Mm-hmm.
They both were running the defense last year. But yeah, time-wise, he's probably spending the same because they're both, like, you just only have, you can't spend any more time than you're already spent.
Right.
Like, there's just, like you said, you got to find that fine line of, all right, how much sleep do you need? Type of deal. So, yeah, these guys, it's you can see there's no change in what's going on. And Coach Athley's awesome, you know, to come to do what he's, you know, he's trying to run a business. He's got his kid, you know, and he's still, you know, it's in his blood. It's in his blood. So he's been great and sticking around. So we're still.
You can't get out of this pro. You don't read this program.
No.
Just when they think you're out, they pull you back.
Yeah, no, you're almost not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
You know, and
we got three alum on staff too. So.
That's right, you're an alum. That's right.
Yeah.
I can't go without asking the big question. How's our O-line?
O-line, I love our O-line.
Good,
I think
good.
You know, we got some a blend of good experience. We got athleticism in the right spots. You know, we got a couple newcomers up front with right now it's Charlie Stott at the tackle and Caleb Greenberg at the guard. Those are the two.
Yep.
So those are the two newcomers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the three back. You got Jimmy Parmisi
Mm-hmm.
leading the way. Love what he's doing offensively and defensively.
Well, he scores a lot of touchdowns for you too, right?
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's running like he can score touchdowns.
Is he really good?
Yep, and he's just a hard-working, great kid. You know, doing things the right way. Kind of like Jack like them. Those two are two peas in a pod. Jack Schellings and him. Jackson just a great athlete, tough kid, undersized, but who cares?
Doesn't
Like
matter.
I've said it every year.
Yeah.
I don't care how big you are. Like, especially up front, it's like be tough, be nasty. We'll get them with angles. We'll get them. We may not overpower teams, but we're gonna get you
Technique.
We're gonna get you one way or the other.
Sensational.
Yeah, and then you got Vlad at the tackle, who's made.
Oh, I thought he was a senior last year.
No, he's no.
Oh,
So
he's back. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Good. That's
so
good.
big tackle, and he's really got himself into good shape where he's more athletic. That's one area he needed to work on, and he knew that. But we're going to be a little bit different offensively, kind of a mix of a bunch of different stuff. We're trying to accentuate the strengths of who we have, and that's what you have to do. We're not in the luxury of going out and like these private schools, they just picking kids to fit their system.
Yeah.
You got to tweak. All right, here's who we have. What's our best plan of attack? What gives us the best chance to win games?
Well,
and that's what we do.
I did see when the freshmen were out here for their pictures. I guess it was the freshmen in the red uniforms, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like you said, good numbers there and a little bit of size there. So maybe these kids will go into a.
That's the plan.
That'd be awesome.
That's the plan. Yep. Would be awesome.
All right, well, thank you guys for coming out and giving us a little preview of what the season is to come, and best of luck with the season ahead.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you.
Well, just finished up talking with Coach Kiley and Coach Santos. Of course, we got to talk to the players a little earlier as well. And looks like a promising season ahead.
Yeah, they're very excited. We did, as I said, we heard some good things about the Natick scrimmage, which is Natick is a really good team. As Coach said, tomorrow night against Franklin will tell a lot of the story, and then they open up with just a really, really tough schedule. They get through that front end of that schedule, and they're going to be in tremendous shape.
Yeah, and you could tell that Coach Kiley was really excited for tomorrow and what's to come. And I mean, he says he only wants the best.
Yep, and they do, and they demand it. And you see them out there. And as I said, you know, I do know personally, I've seen those guys just study films as coaches. They all through the night they work, and then they come out here, and the kids respond really well to that. And they have to, because, you know, it's funny when he just kind of mentions this is my 21st year. That's pretty impressive to be 20 years and in a program like this in your own hometown, where he's just been able to pull the whole thing together. He's had some great Coach Athy, Coach Santos, Coach Perry, Jim Perry, who he didn't, I don't know if he mentioned Coach Perry, but Coach Perry, the offensive line, another great coach. And you have to have a full program. You can't have a team. You have to have a program right up and down. From these guys are in it right from the beginning in the Pop Warner and all of that. So that's what did it.
Yeah, and I definitely think having that coaching staff and maintaining like an identical coaching staff, you build character, you build what this team's identity is, and then all the players around it can buy into it.
Exactly. Well, before we sign off, I want to thank you.
Yeah.
You did a great job today. Thank you very much. And we want to thank Bruce Guilfoy and Don Cronin for taking care of us here and helping us out, and all the coaches and everybody. And we'll be seeing them pretty soon on the live broadcast.
Yeah, and of course we'll have Tom will be back on the play-by-play and helping you out.
I'm gonna try and get you in ahead of Tom. We'll see how that works.
All right, well, thank you. So for SportsView edition of Holliston Panther Football Media Day, for Jay Wyman, I'm Dylan Potemri.